Alright, so now we're going to quickly work in the workbook, page 73. So grab your workbook and open it on page 73. Alright, so we're going to work with the theme of the story again because that's what we're going to be working with today. But we are going to, sorry about that, we're going to work with the workbook, and we're also going to be using the textbook. Why? Because we are going to revisit some of the old stories from previous chapters that we've read before in class, and we're going to take a look at them together with me. Don't worry, you're not alone. And we're going to try to identify the theme of these stories. All right? So number 1 says, write here. Write what you think the main theme is for each of the following stories. So vamos a escribir cuál creemos que es el tema principal de las historias pasadas. And we're going to start with letter A, Paolo swims home. If you remember, Paolo, the story of Paolo was back on page, I'll tell you, here, page 66, here. And if you remember, or not, I'll still help you out. It's a story about a polar bear who kind of wants to get away from his family for a little while. And so he ends up being separated. He falls asleep and he ends up separated from his family because the ice where he's sleeping breaks down, and he gets separated. Like, it starts drifting away from his family, and when he wakes up from his nap, he looks around and nobody's around him. So he misses his family and he wants to get back to his family. So what could we say is the theme for that story? Is his family, the love for his family, right? So we can say the main theme in Paolo Swims Home is love for his family. Okay? Right here. All right, letter B, the terrible, horrible itch. Remember the terrible, horrible itch about a rhino? This one was on page 94. Do you remember this one? I think you do. Remember, it's about a rhino who has a terrible, horrible itch in his back because he has like a little bug that he can't get out. Like, he can't get it out of his skin. And so he tries different ways of getting it out, and the other animals are scared of him, so they don't help him until he finds a bird, or a bird finds him and goes to help him. She's not afraid of him. Actually, she goes up to him to help him out. Because in reality, that's what some birds do. They eat these bugs on other animals. So they help each other out. So we can say the theme of the story is the importance of friendship. So the main theme in the terrible, horrible itch is the importance of friendship. All right. All right, now let's move on to C, letter C, fuel to win. This was one of the last ones that we read together, fuel to win. This was chapter 5, and it was page 124. Fuel to Win is the story about a boy who's a baseball player, and on the day of his big game, he doesn't want to have breakfast, and because he didn't have breakfast, he didn't have enough nutrition to have energies to play his game. So in the middle of the game, he starts feeling sick, and he learns at the end of the story that it's very important to eat nutritious food, healthy food, because they will give you energy to do the things in the day. So we can say the main theme in Fuel to Win is how good nutrition gives us energy to do everything we want. And especially now that we're going through this pandemic, it's very important to eat healthy food and do exercises to keep our immune system up. And not just that, but it's important to wash our hands all the time. And whenever you wash your hands, you need to use like a lotion or something to keep your hands moisturized. All right. All right. And on to the last one, letter D. All right, now letter D. A Day with Grandpa, which is the story in chapter 6. It's the last story that we read together in the classroom. And it's found on page 154. 154. There you go. All right. So A Day with Grandpa is a story about a boy who spends the day with his grandpa, and they do many things together. They go to the hardware store, they eat food, they drink lemonade, and as we mentioned before, they go to the beach. And one of the things that happens here is that the boy starts looking at similarities and differences between himself and his grandpa, among other things. So we can say the main theme in A Day with Grandpa is the differences and similarities we share with our family members. All right. And we're almost reaching the end of our class. The last part is, well, the previous part should look like this. Oh, sorry. Remember, it's a video. You can pause and hit play again. And part number 2 says, draw a picture that describes the main theme of The Show Must Go On. So, va a hacer un dibujo que describa el tema principal de la historia de este capítulo, The Show Must Go On. And that would be it for today. I hope you had fun. I hope that you enjoyed the class. And again, I miss you, and I'll see you on the next class. Have a good weekend with your family. Bye.